Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Remember, we are sponsored by the wonderful people at Undisputed. The new Mexican Monster Pack is available to download right now. Just head to playundisputed.com. All right, I have some good news, some big news as well. My first guest for the live has been booked in. Remember, the live takes place September 4th, King's Place. There are still some tickets available. The link to the tickets is in the description. I basically wrote down like 10 names, like dream 10 names. So Eddie Hearn, for example, was on the list. Tony Bellew, AJ Fury, Frank Warren, and this man as well. This man has, I think, shaken up boxing over here in the last couple of years. Very outspoken, says what he wants to say without fear of retribution. I only wish I could say what this man says. The man I'm talking about is Simon Jordan, who I think is going to be a fantastic guest. Again, I just want a guest on stage that will just say what he wants. And I don't think anyone says what they want more than Simon Jordan. He is booked in. I am going to try for 4 more guests. We've only got 90 minutes, so I don't want it to be guest after guest after guest. I do want me to have time with you guys as well. But I do think if I can get the big names, why not get the big names? So Simon Jordan is the first big name. I will tell you guys as soon as the names are booked in and locked in, I'll let you guys know. But again, there are still some tickets available. Link to the tickets is in the description. It's going to be a fucking good night. It's going to be a really good night. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Tyson Fury says he will never return to boxing. I'm too old and grey. Tyson Fury said this. He was out at a race course in Doncaster, I believe. Take what Tyson Fury says with a pinch of salt. Don't forget, Tyson Fury is the same man that when Alexander Usyk beat Daniel Dubois, he was out jogging immediately saying, Usyk, I want my trilogy. So I don't know. Do I think Tyson Fury will fight again? Yes. Would I be surprised if he doesn't? Yes, I actually would. I would be surprised. I think Tyson Fury is going to have 1 or 2 more knocks just because he's a fighter. I mean, that's ultimately what it is. It's very, very rare that fighters walk away when there is millions on the table. I mean, it does happen in some instances. Andre Ward springs to mind. I think Carl Froch walked away when there was a few million on the table for Julio Cesar Chavez and maybe a James DeGale fight, but nothing like the kind of money that's on the table for Tyson Fury to fight AJ, maybe even a trilogy with Alexander Usyk, and then he walks away. But I will say this, look, if Tyson Fury does walk away, he's 36. I know some people dig out Tyson Fury for maybe not having the AJ fight, but fuck me, Tyson Fury has entertained me. He really has. I know he says some crap sometimes, like most of them do, but those Wilder fights, was it the second or the third one? I think the third one. Jesus Christ, man. It's one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen. The Usyk fights, although the Vladimir Klitschko fight was boring as fuck. I watched it again recently. I was going to do a look back and I was like, we ain't looking back at that. The fact is he went to Dusseldorf and beat Vladimir Klitschko. He has brought so much personality to boxing. Like, boxing's an entertainment sport. I think a lot of these fighters sometimes forget that you do need to entertain. And this boy entertains. So if he doesn't fight again, hey, will I be upset a little bit? But I mean, he's his own man. He can make his own decisions. Oscar De La Hoya prefers Teofimo Lopez for Ryan Garcia over Rolly Romero. Yeah, the Rolly Romero fight was so bad. Like, surely nobody out there is asking for that again. Like, no thank you. No, thank you. What's interesting is how far away we've now got from Devon versus Ryan again. Devon's going to fight Brian Norman. Look, if Devon beats Brian Norman, I do think Ryan will jump the queue and fight Devon. But that was what was going to happen. We were going to see Devon Ryan. All of a sudden, Ryan loses. Devon didn't look too great, did he? As well against Ramirez. And now that fight just seems like a distant memory. I would like to see Ryan versus Tio, but I'm just not sure about Ryan, man. Ryan's the type of guy that could just say, you know what, I'm done, and then reappear in 2 years. He's got that about him. Is it just me that sees this? I don't know how much Ryan loves boxing. I hope he does, because I think there's a talent there. He's clearly someone that brings a completely different market to boxing. He could be a superstar. We're trying to find that next superstar in America. He could be that. Like Jesse Bam Rodriguez for me is a superstar, but I don't know if Jesse Bam Rodriguez is going to cross over to the casual audience. I think he will. On that, you guys, I put out a video, me and Rory Jennings, Boxing Casuals. It's a new series I'm starting. It isn't always with Rory. It's going to be a different guest each week or each couple of weeks. And I think it's actually a very good series. Look at me trying to sell it. But I do think it's a good series just because I think it's important. And I always want to try and understand what boxing casuals think of boxing. Ultimately, an event's only a big event if the casuals have gripped it. If they haven't, then it's a small event. And it's nice to hear from people who like boxing, but it's not their second, third, or even fourth sport. So yeah, boxing casuals is a thing going forward. It might be something that goes on the members channel. I haven't decided yet, but it certainly is a thing that we're going to continue to do. All right, let's talk Moses Itauma. Is he the future king of boxing? The answer is, so this is not clickbait, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows, right? I mean, that's the beauty of the sport of boxing. We don't know. We just have to enjoy the ride. There is so much pressure now on this young man's shoulders. Like, if he doesn't look spectacular against Dillian Whyte, all of a sudden people are like, that's how fickle boxing fans are. We're so fucking fickle. If he doesn't look great against Dillian Whyte, we'll be like, he's almost got to ice Dillian Whyte for everyone to say, yeah, he's the king. You know what I mean? For him to continue that trajectory, because he is like a fucking rocket ship at the moment. Going on the eye test, I think he has absolutely everything. Going on what people tell me about him, I think he has absolutely everything. Like, I hear the sparring stories. Guys, there is so much I could share on this channel that I don't. Like, so much. But I hear the sparring stories. I know who he's hurt. I know who he's wobbled. I know all those things. And he's a bad man. Honestly, he's a bad man. I look at him, it's funny. I don't feel like I'm interviewing a 20-year-old. Do you know what I mean? He just is a man, isn't he? But yet he's a kid. And being a kid isn't a bad thing in the sport of boxing, because there is that kind of fearlessness, like this youthful exuberance, speed. You're not damaged goods. You haven't been through the trenches. The politics of boxing hasn't made you fall out of love with the sport yet. So as much as people say he lacks experience, sometimes lacking experience in those things I've just mentioned can't be too bad. But he seems to have the boxing IQ of an experienced fighter. He seems to be very level-headed, and his feet are on the ground still. And that can't be easy, because he's starting to become very, very popular. Like, people are starting to know who Moses Itauma is. And I think sometimes with that fame can come obstacles and problems. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Obviously, nothing like Mike Tyson, but look what happened to Mike Tyson as an example. Not just Mike Tyson, so many fighters over the years. But look, I mean, I think we might have something special here. And I hope we do. Because, you know, AJ and Fury are coming to the end. It's not just AJ, Fury, White, Chisora, like all the heavyweights, Usyk, Parker, Bacoli, Wilder, all coming to an. We want some fresh blood, and it'd be nice if someone like Moses Itauma can be that fresh blood, not just for British boxing, but for world boxing. Like, I really, really want the Americans to see him. Like, I would love for him to fight Jared Anderson, because Jared Anderson would talk that talk, and I think Moses Itauma would ice him. I really do. I think it would light him up. Seriously, I think it would light him up. So I'm excited. I interview Moses on Monday. I do the face-off between the two. I really, really hope the face-off kicks off Like, normally I don't really care. Like, for example, Benavidez yard, nothing happened. Yeah, it is what it is. I can't force it. I'm not, I tried, and what can you do? If two fighters don't want to kill each other, they don't want to kill each other. You're not always going to get a DILLIAN White Chisora situation. But I do hope that White somehow puts it on him and Moses responds. Do you know what I mean? A bit like, you know what? A bit like Dubois AJ. When AJ kind of put it on Dubois, Dubois stood up, and all of a sudden my job was done. Wouldn't mind a bit of that. But we'll see how it plays out between the two. But I will say this about this fight. When this fight was first announced, I remember it. When I saw the first tweet for this fight or the fight card, people were like, Now all of a sudden, people are like, well, 1 second, Adelaide Herkovich is fucking interesting. Sam Goodman versus Nick Ball, unbeaten Sam Goodman. People are now invested in it. So, look, I think it's going to be good. I do look forward to it. I do look forward to seeing how good Moses can be. The pressure of being the headline act. Hasn't been the headline act yet. Brings a different type of pressure, different responsibility. You're now carrying the show. Trust me, it brings a different... the interview requests are quadrupled. Time that you want to spend in the gym, you're sitting down answering these same questions over and over and over again. It can get boring, frustrating, annoying. And at 20, you're not ready for that yet. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles that as well. All right, anything else before we back up? Rosado scores a first round KO, saw that, and calls that Edgar Berlanga. Okay. Not against it. Not really for it. All Puerto Rican war. We'll see how this one plays out. That fight for Rosado is at 175, but Rosado get down to 168. And if you're Berlanga, you kind of do need a big comeback fight. This isn't a big comeback fight, but it's a comeback fight. Everyone knows who Rosado is, so I see it. I understand it. Oscar De La Hoya eyes October return for Virgil Ortiz, one of my favorite fighters, Virgil. He's getting called out by Xander Zayas, who I speak to today on the Ariel and Ade show. October is an interesting month for 154 pounders because Ennis, Boots Ennis, is, I think, making his debut at 154 pounds in October as well. I think Eddie sort of had a list of names. Remember, Josh Kelly was one of those guys. Don't know if I can see the other names that Eddie mentioned. Let me quickly see if I can get it. Eddie Hearn. Boots. Opponents. See if there's anything in this. No. I mean, it will be here somewhere, but... Okay, wait. I think I've got it. Stay with me, people. Stay with me. Rashidi Ellis, Charles Conwell. It's not too shabby. Josh Kelly, Andreas Kutsarakis. It's all right. It's all right. You know what it is? It's almost, it's the feeling of Boots needing some sort of, I don't know, toe tipping in the 154 pound before he just, sinks his feet into it. But Charles Conwell is no scrub. Rashidi Ellis, these are good names, to be fair. Andreas Kazarakis is unbeaten. Josh Kelly, we kind of know the talent. Charles Conwell and Rashidi Ellis aren't the worst. You know who I want. I want Virgil, but you don't always get what you want. Peace.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.
Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.